Hello and welcome in. My name is DrumRollTony. I'm a streamer on Twitch, musician and music teacher living in Seattle. We haven't watched an Austin Archey drum playthrough video in like forever, so we're going to do it. This is Into the Earth by Lorna. Man, the Curse to Die video was like ridiculous, so I expect this to be just up there with it as well. I'm very excited. Let's go. That's a lot of cymbals. Oh. Whoa. What do you even say? It's almost like stupid to even like, let me put this on my YouTube channel and talk about it like I could ever. No, man. This is like, I'm the worst drum set player ever, but man, I love percussion and musicians though. This is amazing. Like so much flow, so relaxed, energy everywhere, just going around the kit. It's wild to see the placement changes, like surface levels between the cymbals and what's going on. That's another, I think we said this the last time too. The camera angles, they really add a lot because you're like a student in percussion, you're trying to emulate and learn and transcribe. This is like super helpful. But like, dude's barefoot, man. He's playing in socks. The flow here, everything obviously controls through the mics. The mix is amazing. What we're getting a very even sound, but you can't help but just notice how mechanically smooth. And it's kind of a weird phrase, right? Mechanically and smooth to put that together, but that's what we're getting. And you just have like flawless rhythms coming at us. I want to go back. It's only, I know it's 6 minutes long, but just watch again and talk about this. I really dig the splash cymbal content that happened in there. And that might sound silly, but all the cymbal work is very melodic with what's going on. Same with the kick drum too. To like the symphonic. Yeah, the symphonic components of the track. I just really feel that presence between the bass drum and that. For what it's worth, is very cool. That little part right there, that was hot, man. That's spicy. Beautiful. And the obligatory statement, it's fun to watch the double strokes and then the slight adjustment of the foot. So we get the toe down, heel up. Like it's just cool to watch someone on this level of the craft do what they're doing, because it's kind of weird that he makes it. I mean, sorry, not weird. It's, when something looks easy, it's just not. And the fact that what he's playing is so ridiculous. Like some of you might be watching this, and you're not a drummer. You just need to understand what's being executed here. It's very, very demanding. The skill set it's high end, and the physical stamina required to do this is ridiculous. And it's going to be a 6 minute long song. And I'm sure their sets are ridiculously long. It's very impressive. Let's keep going. Man. I love the height of the snare drum there, because that accent just made everything feel so different compared to all the other the blast beat stuff we're getting. But pow, that's really the first impact point that we had, and that felt like just such a different direction in the song. Oh, I didn't catch that that little bass drum, the stutter in there. That's a nice little rhythm. I like that. Yeah, man. Unreal. That's crazy. You know what? I think I've heard the song once. I think I did the video to the song. It was my first experience with Lorna Shore ever, because that breakdown feels familiar. It's a cool, like, this style of drumming. I feel like it's so different, like from the composition aspect of like when the breakdown happens. It's obviously so intertwined with what's going on with the rest of the musicians. The other musicians are badass, by the way, too. Like, and it's such a different approach on vocals. Like, it's very. I don't really know how to talk. We're gonna leave the vocal part alone because I don't know how to say anything about that other than wow, that's wild and different. But I feel like what I'm seeing here and here and here is just so it's just so ridiculous. Like, you can't really say that much except like be in awe of what's happening. Conceptually, it's interesting to provide so much space. Like all this cool, like wicked fast, like 64th notes, and then suddenly there's like big chunky quarter note triplets happening. But in the beginning of this phrase, he was playing like double stroke, like 16 note triplet things happening, and I was like, this is so cool because you can see the implementation difference a little bit on the feet. And for someone like me, who is just like the fucking worst drum set player ever, I can just look at this and be like, Jesus Christ, dude, like, it's insane. But we have to go back, right? We have to go back and talk about it because of how just ridiculous that it is. Right there, I was impressed keeping those like you're gonna that burns in the forum there. You gotta be pretty relaxed, keep some fingers on the stick and keep that flow there. But then it just goes completely somewhere else that like was like, oh, that I guess that didn't mean shit. Yeah, it's interesting because the rhythms, like, you can hear, you know, like anyone with a basic ear can understand, oh, 8th note triplets, 16th note triplets. But it's like, it's the flow of watching him play, you know, the 8th notes isolated in the left hand. And then suddenly you put in, you know, your, you know, kind of blast beat modulation, whatever this is here. And then you have double strokes in the feet happening with, like, normally you'd play like a triplet roll, but that's happening in the feet. And then suddenly it's single strokes around the drums. So there's so many like gear shifts where there's not any room for any, like, you know, metronome issues. So obviously the internal metronome is like literally flawless here, playing with a click, no doubt, obviously. But that's where I geek out because it's cool. Like, just because you can like recognize a rhythm doesn't mean that you can like recreate the rhythm. And when you get them all back at you and there's so much flow and just like, it's like multi-directional with how we're feeling this. It's just, it's very cool. Yeah, man. Think about it. Imagine you play, you're a minute 40 in, everything's been great, but instead of going, you go, your foot goes like, you're like, start over. Song's ruined. Like, it's not normal, man. Like, your money beats, normal folks get to sit there and go boom, bah, goom, crash, you're getting paid. This dude is on like just another level of other levels of like stamina and just the ability to produce rhythm after rhythm after rhythm. It's really fascinating. Jesus Christ. I know we said it at the beginning. I'm just going to say it again. I really appreciate drummers that make their cymbal playing so melodic. I think the first time I heard Ginger, Vlad playing, I was like, oh my God, I love the cymbal work. I mean, obviously, you don't always have to compare demand of difficulty to rate something. It doesn't need to be like a constant 10 all the time. There's, you know, musicianship is great and it comes in many forms. And it's like, it's cool to hear the onslaught of notes, but it's also like, oh man, that's gorgeous. The way the cymbal lane with the track, what's going on there, really, really good musical choices. so interesting to listen to and just hear the gear shifts between 8s, 6s, and 3s. You know, everything is relative to 1. It's funny. Last night, I teach a drumline class on Monday nights, and I have a lot of beginning students in there where we're just like reinforcing, like learning how to understand the basic math. That's not even that difficult of like what really are 8th notes, what really are triplets, what really are 16th notes, what really are sextuplets, what really are 32nd notes, understanding just like substitutions relative to a quarter note pulse, because those are the easy substitutions and by far the ones you play most of the time. As soon as you start doing, things that are asymmetrical, learning how to fit 5s, 7s, or nested rhythms within each other, then the substitutions get a little more difficult. But in the beginning, like installing those ideas of how to just relate everything to the tempo and to the pulse, to the quarter note, basically, it's fun and cool. But then you see the same principle, the same math being done here. And it's like, cool. We just had talked about like 2 minutes ago, like, yeah, just because you can understand it, but suddenly that math has a different value. It's way more impressive because of the speed of which is going on, the clarity of the sound. I don't know how much, like, keep in mind, I'm not a metal drummer by any means. I don't know how much trigger stuff is going on. The audio that we're getting is so beautifully like perfect. Like dynamically speaking, all articulations feel the same. The moment you hear the beater hit the kick drum, the first hit is equal to the last hit. How much of that is manipulated, I don't know, but it's still cool to listen to. And the fact that even if it is triggered, we have the ability to do that. It's still fun. It's a cool thing too. I'm an all organic person. Like everything I talk about in my classroom settings with young people and students in music, where how to achieve, things in the early stages, because that's all you got. You got 6 in your drum. We don't have other stuff going on, but it doesn't mean that you can't appreciate this kind of stuff too. So like, I feel like sometimes those worlds, with the minimal experience that I have, I feel like those worlds fight a little bit. So I'm giving you where I live in music and drums, and also where I'm ignorant, but also like where we can connect those gaps and appreciate, man. Gnarly guitar solo as well, by the way. The track is freaking amazing. I think the above camera view is the best. It is super fun to see stroke patterns where like little almost Mahler like things going on in the right hand, a little bit of shoulder and forearm here, but seeing like fulcrum like kind of just shift and just turn over here with where the hand's going. These kind of camera angles are super important for like that, because you watch someone play, like, I mean, think about old school stuff. You go to the show, like, cool, I'm going to try to do this. Like, maybe if you're like super lucky, you get to a jam session where someone is like, on a comparable level, and you can kind of watch them from out front of the drum set, like this idea that you can get on the internet, boom, it's in 4K or whatever. Yeah, it's in 4K. It's like, you can see all this stuff. Like, it kind of destroys old instructional videos or old, pedagogy methods of how you learn. It's crazy. You can be like 12 years old and getting into like music and be like, oh, cool, I can just watch this and absorb it. Like, that's freaking amazing. Those are gnarly vocals, man. That's something else. That's wild. That is just, man, so relaxed. I feel like everything we've seen of him play, which is only 2 drum playthroughs, but with the other song too, which I feel like is probably this song. It seems like the demand is, it is so demanding. I just can't imagine the stamina. I wonder, did he play in high school band? I want to know what his high school director was like, if that scenario existed, if he was like the godlike child. Did he have him like in stage band? Was he in jazz band? Just fucking destroyed. Did he play in pep band? I want to know what young Austin was like. Did he get any drumline scenarios, or was he like, fuck all that, I'm just playing in metal bands the whole time? Like, that music is so cool, man. The variety of folks that are involved in playing, like, I don't know, it's pretty cool. Anyway, we've talked a lot. Sorry, there was a lot to stop and talk about, and you know, all this stuff is over my head anyway. It's just really fun to kind of reflect and attempt to understand. So let me know what you think about Austin. All right, see you on the next one. My name is DrumRollTony. Catch me on live on Twitch. Link for all the socials down in the video description below. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Please and thank you. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel so you can catch the next one. YouTube thinks you want to watch one of these videos next. Have a great day. Take it easy. Bye-bye.